The Flex Zone, episode 370. And for a milestone like this, there's only one guest who fits the bill. You know him, you love him. He will be revealed shortly. But if you've been following his channel or ours, you already know his team keep it clean. Talking NFL, recapping those Ravens, Lamar Jackson injury, Tyler Huntley. Do you have faith in him? Is it time for G-Roll to go? Of course, we're talking about those comments from Lebron about Jerry Jones. Of course, you head down 95 or up north. This week was a tie, but the Commanders head into their bye. We'll get thoughts from the Mandalorian himself. And of course, got to talk about Deion heading to Colorado and bringing lights, camera, action to Boulder. Flex on Podcast, y'all. You guys know the drill. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that bell. New episode coming to you live right after this. What's going on, Flex Zone family? It's your boy, God's favorite host, the host with the Moist back here. Only place giving you sports how you want it, fellas.
When you need it.
Because like when Crevonte needs that bold ginger ale, and Dre got on his NFL hat as well. It's going to be a lit show, episode 370. Only one man can fit the bill and lead us, like our tribal chief, into the next 370 plus. And we'll talk to him in a second as he breaks it down like nobody else can, especially when it comes to the Baltimore Ravens. Real quick, let's get everybody in here. Big Raj, let the people know what's going on. Let them know how to keep up with us if they're new and what they can look forward to on the channel.
Big show today. Have a big guest as always. And Ravens on today. We're gonna talk some Ravens, of course. What's going on with the state of the Ravens at this point in the season? You know, see what his thoughts are. AEW on Wednesday, as always. Wednesday nights. We'll be doing a live stream. Are we doing SmackDown this week, Byron?
TBD.
To be determined. All right. And also more videos throughout the week. So stay tuned. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. You know the rest. Hit that bell for notifications. This is what we do.
He doesn't like ties, but he wears them on occasion, but not when it comes to his football. The Mandalorian, Crevonte, Bebe, captain of the Goofy ship. What's going on, brother? How you feeling? Bye week.
Hey man, I'm all right. Hey man, listen. Bye week came at a perfect time. We got quite a few injuries, guys who are nicked up, especially on the defensive side. So comes at a good time, and we got the Giants at home right after. So I feel good.
Next man, he is the head of the Flex Zone table, the super producer himself, Pride of the East Side, Savior, Misbehavior, Straw that stirs the drink, the A-lister, the phenomenal one, and he's wearing all black because I don't know if it's time for him to bury the Ravens, but it could be close. The Dean, Professor of Baltimore Hall University, Drizzy Dre, the Tribal Chief. What's going on, bro?
Hey, what's going on, gentlemen? Episode 370. I'm totally excited, and like you said, we got a very special guest on deck.
Let's get to it. This man, you can follow him for all your news, Ravens. You go to this channel. You don't go to Baltimore Ravens. You go to this man's channel first because he keeps it clean, but he breaks it down to the bare bones, much like that good bleach you got to use as well. Engraving Vids the channel. Does videos each and every day. The man doesn't sleep. The man's on vacation working. I hope he has some time for the holidays with his wonderful family, but we got to welcome him back. His fourth time. Ironically, he's back for the fourth time. Ravens have 4 losses. So numerology. So let's keep that in mind as well. The man himself, Engraving Vids, back in the Flex Zone building. Give it up for him, everybody.
What's going on, man? I mean, I guess if I can't come on no more since Ravens lose whenever I come on. But yeah, I guess it's got to be our final finale or whatnot. Man. But I appreciate y'all having me on again, man. Looking forward to it as always.
Hey man, great day. Great to have you on as usual.
Always a beautiful thing.
Engraving Vids. Yes, we'll put it in the chat for you guys. As always, the following team, keep it clean. Thank y'all for joining us. And we're going to get to it, brother, as we do here on the Flex Zone. Go ahead, Raj.
Oh man, glad to have you back as always, Engraven. Always a guest on the Flex Zone podcast. Congratulations to getting over the 60,000 man subscribers, bro. Definitely milestone. My question for you is, brother, how did you get to the 60K, man? I mean, what are your secrets?
Ain't no secrets. I say a lot of mistakes. A lot of just sorting through stuff, trying to figure out what's the best way for you to go about doing stuff, and it's different for everybody. A lot of just trying to be consistent, trying to not only set but meet a certain level of expectation. Just trying to deliver on who we are. And I think a business model for me would just be just consistency, continuing to keep my moral values where they are, not settling, not trying to like follow the crowd or whatnot. That's it, man. And just having fun with it, really having fun with it. I really, my goal when I first started was to make sure that we had, that we could try to develop a platform where people could just get a break from all the stresses of life and whatnot, just to, whether they spend 10, 15 minutes with us a day, have a long, just so they could get a break, talk some football for a little bit. We laugh, we joke around. Again, we had fun with it. And I wanted it to be a platform where it was welcoming to everybody, not just adults, not just kids, not just, but everybody. And that was that. So it worked off. Sometimes it was slow growth, sometimes it was fast growth, but I think one of the biggest things with it has just been patience, because it just definitely ain't happened overnight. But patience is big, man, because with something like YouTube, is millions of people doing it, but you got to find what separates you from everybody else, what makes you different from everybody else, and why people should keep coming back to watch you instead, and not even instead of everybody else, but along with everybody else who they do watch. Because you're never, well, for some people you might be, but you're usually not the only channel that people are going to watch. People are going to watch different people who cover whatever topics that you may cover, whatever their interests are. But you have to give people a reason to come back to you. And another thing too, along the way, you're going to lose a lot of people too. Some people you're not going to feel you. Some people who may have liked your style or what you do before, they may get tired of it. And you have to be willing to accept that and not get hung up on it. So that's it, man. I mean, it is a nonstop grind. Like I said, just trying to continue to meet the level of expectation that I want to set, that I have set for myself. But it's fun. It's work. It is very hard work, as I'm sure y'all definitely understand.
Oh yeah,
because people, there's a lot of people that think, oh yeah, you just turn the camera on, talk for a little bit. No, that ain't it. That's the easy part. But as far as putting stuff together, producing it, uploading it, the thumbnails, the this, the that, all the background stuff, it's a lot, man. But again, it is fun work, and I am very appreciative of just the people that support it, new supporters, old supporters, just people that support it throughout the years, and people who have watched the process, because it's a process that's not done yet. It will never be perfected, but it's something that we've worked really, really, really hard to get to this point, and we're still gonna keep working really, really hard to see whatever's next. But yeah, I'm just glad that it's been working out.
Definitely, man. I saw you on vacation. You was posting videos. You was in the middle of the ocean somewhere posting videos. I was like, my man is working. You post like 4 videos on Saturday, man. I was like, Jesus.
Yeah, that was crazy.
A lot of subs from, a lot of questions from subscribers, man. It was definitely something to watch if you was in the house. So continue to keep grinding, man. Continue to keep doing your thing.
Appreciate it.
But let's talk some Ravens talk real quick, man.
All right.
Let's get into it, man. we saw what happened against the that Broncos team. Let's ride with Russell Wilson and them boys. Do you think Lamar Jackson plays again this season with the Ravens?
I want to say yes. I want to say yes, but I do. I think he will. I know it's easy to get caught up in the whole contract thing, to be like, oh, maybe Lamar will sit out the rest of the season because of his contract. But I think he'll play. One reason is because of the contract. Because I mean, I don't think he has anything left to. In my opinion, he doesn't have anything left to prove. The Ravens may feel otherwise, but I don't think he has anything left to prove. But I think he will play again this season, simply because the Ravens, they have some unfinished business. Now, I do not think that they are a Super Bowl team. I don't think they're going to go to the Super Bowl this year. I would love them to. I would love them to prove me wrong and shut me up. I would love to go on the channel and be like, man, I was wrong. I mean, there would be no better feeling in the world to be wrong about that. But I think that he'll want to finish this season. Now I am a tiny bit worried. It ain't no crazy worry yet. I after he went out, and I know Harbaugh said it's not season ending, and then today he said it's week to week. But yesterday I was thinking, and even today I was like, oh no, he ain't playing against the Steelers. And Harbaugh, after his presser, during his presser, he was like, oh yeah, well, we're not ruling him out against the Steelers, but it's not likely that he'll play, but we're not going to rule him out. It's like, okay, like Steelers know he ain't playing. We know he ain't playing, but I get it. I know Harbaugh, that's how he does with the injuries, because he like to play the games and stuff. All right, that's cool. Because I know people always say, oh, he wants the other team to have to prepare for both quarterbacks or whatever. I get it, but Mike Tomlin ain't stupid. He know he's going against Tyler Huntley. But if Lamar doesn't practice the following week, then I will start to get a little worried. Reason being because last year, I believe that Harbaugh said that Lamar's injury was week to week too. And he never played again.
Nope.
But so yeah, I ain't too worried about it right now. But yeah, I think he will play again, simply because the Ravens are in a really good spot, even though they were in a really good spot last year too before he went out. But the Ravens are, was it the same record? Was it 8-4 last year too? I think
it was 8-3.
8-3.
Yeah, I think we were 8-3.
Oh
yeah, 8-3 and finished 8-9.
But when they lost to the Dolphins, what was well, either way, I don't even want to get hung up on it. But yeah, man, so they sitting in pretty much the same spot. Well, last year they were number 1 in the AFC, now they're number 3. But I think Lamar is definitely going to want to come back, because he's going to want to try to help the team get to the playoffs and then try to make something happen in the playoffs. So I don't think we've seen the last of Lamar with the Ravens this year.
Okay.
What's your faith in Tyler Huntley, real quick, and Graven? We got a poll up. Make sure you guys vote on that. What do you think about Tyler Huntley? Led a 91-yard drive to win the game.
He sure did. Well, with all those other yards throughout the rest of the game. But no, I like Tyler Huntley.
In the vault with Greg Roman.
Tyler Huntley's cool, man. He's cool. I like him. He is a backup. We know he's a backup. It was going up against a really, really good defense yesterday. Really, really good defense. So gotta keep that in mind. And he was not expected to be the starter. Well, he wasn't expected to play in yesterday's game. So that was obviously super short notice. And I said it earlier today, like, even though like they say it all the time, oh, the backup, he prepares like he's a starter. You can't. It's impossible to prepare like you're the starter.
No such thing.
Yeah, because you know you're the backup. You practice with backup. So I mean, you can't prepare as a starter. But he did all right. But my faith in him moving forward, I think with Tyler Huntley, we got to look at what he's done. What he's done with his experience, what he's done preparing as a starter when he has been known that he's going to be the starter. And in every game that Tyler Huntley, that they knew, that Ravens knew, he knew that he was going to be the starter, and the other team knew he was going to be the starter prior to the game. Not during the game, not the day of the game, but prior to the game. Every game that both Ravens and their opponents knew that Tyler Huntley was going to be the starter, he lost. They lost. The team lost. Ravens lost. Every single one. The only ones that he won was against the Bears last year, where Lamar was supposed to start, but then they said he got sick on a game day, and Tyler Huntley ended up playing, and they won that game. So that doesn't give me the best boost of confidence. But one thing that I will look forward to is him just playing with no fear, him playing just more loose, and him being willing to be like whatever, because he doesn't have anything to lose. Tyler Huntley is not, well, actually, I can't even say that. I was about to say Tyler Huntley is not playing for a contract, but who knows how things could go. But he is not playing for no 200, 250 mil, 300. He's not playing for no big time contract. He could, I don't even want to think about that right now, but he ain't playing for a contract. So everybody knows that he's the backup. And he could be auditioning for other teams possibly next year, depending on how things go. So there's less pressure on him. There's a lot less pressure on him. And I mean, you see the way with the personnel usage, the play calls and stuff seems to be a lot different for Tyler Huntley than it is Lamar Jackson. And that is that's a little suspicious, but it is what it is. My faith in Tyler Huntley, I'm rooting for him. I'm definitely rooting for him, but I don't have the biggest amount of faith in him. Because the thing with him and Lamar, the big difference, Tyler Huntley can throw. He could take off if need be. But with Lamar can obviously do those things as well, but Lamar just wins. He finds a way to make those additional 2 or 3 plays that help win the game. Tyler Huntley hasn't. And that's not a shot at Tyler Huntley. That's just been what it is. He's been close. He has been very close. Close with the Rams, close with the Packers, close with the Browns, close with the Steelers, close. But they were losses. With Lamar, more times than not, he obviously doesn't go undefeated, but he wins a lot more than he loses because he makes those extra couple of plays where it's like, oh, that boy is special right there. And that's why he's Lamar Jackson. That's why he's a starter. So I'm hoping Tyler can, this win that they got against the Broncos, I'm hoping that can give him a nice little boost of confidence and they could turn the corner and they could, I guess, get an upset against the Steelers. Yeah, I guess I feel like with either team that wins, whether it's the Steelers or the Ravens, I feel like it'll be an upset either way. Both of these teams, like they're both upsetting, but we'll see. But yeah, this game gonna be a lot, man. It's gonna we'll see. It should be fun as it always is.
Now, go ahead, Dre. I'm sorry.
I was going to ask, Engraven, what do you think about when people say that Tyler Huntley should be the starter over Lamar Jackson?
Oh, it makes me
absurd.
sick.
Let me help. Absurd. Go ahead.
It's disgusting, man. People get, I think they get caught up on the completion percentage. Like with Tyler Huntley, his completion percentage is usually always pretty high. But Tyler Huntley he'll throw like 30 passes, and it'll be for like 150 yards, something like that. It'll be a lot of short stuff. And I think people get so enamored with a bunch of completions, but a lot of times it's completions that really don't go anywhere. It's completions that don't really get many yards. And one thing with what my guy Skeptical pointed out earlier, and I was like, that is such a great explanation. He said with Tyler Huntley, his offense is for completions, but Lamar's offense is for scoring. And again, it goes back to what I was just saying a couple of minutes ago with the plays. Like Lamar will make those plays where it's like, where it helps the Ravens get over that hump and win the game more times than none. But Tyler Huntley, it just doesn't happen that way too often. But again, hopefully he'll turn the corner. Hopefully he will. But Tyler Huntley, he is not Lamar Jackson, and he doesn't have to be Lamar Jackson. He's Tyler Huntley. But he is not the starter, does not need to be the starter for the Baltimore Ravens. He doesn't need to be. He shouldn't be. As much as we love Tyler Huntley too, this is Lamar Jackson's team for now at least, and that's how it should stay. So Tyler Huntley is cool. We rooting for him, but he is not a starter over no Lamar Jackson. Let's not do that. Even though people been doing that. Like one guy was telling me, one guy sent me a message earlier today. He hit me up in my DMs on Instagram. He said, so are we ready to say that that Tyler Huntley should be the starter over Lamar? I just replied to him, stop. I said, stop it. Because that's just, and it was early in the morning too. I'm like, really? You started this early in the morning? But that same guy, he's like somebody that's hated on Lamar. He don't like how Lamar's doing the whole contract thing. He said that his mom's like, she don't have the business experience and whatnot. I'm like, what do you know? How do you know what his mom knows? How do you know? And it's but seriously, like, when has his mom led him down the wrong path yet? Lamar, his mom been running things for a long time, and he's been doing just fine. So why should she stop all of a sudden? They obviously got things under control, but it was just ignorant comments like that. It's just they could be really disgusting. But yeah, it's Tyler Huntley. We love Tyler Huntley. We do. He's not a starter over Lamar Jackson.
And I agree with you, man. I don't think Tyler Huntley should definitely not be the starter going forward. But like I said before, I've been watching your videos, a lot of them, man. And I don't know. I don't want to bring this up, but I got to bring it up. I got to ask you this question, man.
Mm-hmm.
I believe you said it, and probably a couple of them. You think that Lamar might be gone after this season, man? You said I was getting the sense of that, and I'm like,
oh yeah, I do. I hope he's not. I hope he's not either. But it just Lamar's not stupid. His people not stupid. And you just look at how, and what's crazy is that we've talked about this on the show before. And nothing's changed. We talked about it multiple times, but nothing's changed. If Lamar's just looking around the league, and not even in a cocky or arrogant way, but he could be looking at some of these other quarterbacks like, man, I'm better than him, or the way Lamar probably look at it, like I'm just as good as him. I can rock with him, but wow, he got that. He got him. Oh, he got him too. Ooh. Oh, he got him too. Oh my goodness. Wow. Nice lineup. And not that he will be taking a shot at his guys, because he won't. He will never take a shot at his guys ever. Y'all know. But he got to be thinking like, man, like Ravens, the way that they do things, like Lamar's number one and kind of number two receiver came from a guy that got cut during preseason, DeMarcus Robinson, and a guy that was just on I Am Athlete smoking cigars a week prior, Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah.
And it's when you like think about this stuff, it's sad. It's really sad. And then again, it's like, what else is there to prove? What else is there for Lamar to prove in order to get his bread? Also think about the just his career. Because he did say he obviously wants to get paid. But he also wants to win. We know he wants to win. You know, he hates losing. I mean, I'm sure that everybody hates losing, but he definitely hates losing because they don't really lose that often. Oh, I mean, in the playoffs, they've been losing, but in regular season, they don't really lose that often. So I'm sure that will make you hate losing that much more. And especially in playoffs when you lose, because ain't no coming back. Ain't no, all right, next week we'll get better. No, once you lose in the playoffs, it's a wrap. But you got to be thinking like, man, what else do I need to do? Especially since I've been doing all this with less than so much other guys got. It's sometimes I feel like a slap in the face, man. But as far as his career, I do not ever see it ascending to the highest of heights with the Baltimore Ravens, simply because of just how they operate in the little value that's put into the offense, with personnel, with coaching decisions, the way they construct the roster. They don't. Their thing is defense. That's cool. That's their mantra or whatnot. Their thing is defense. So Lamar, it's like you've had this special player for this is the 5th year, and it's like they refuse to really invest in him like that. Refuse. And it's been sad to see. It's like when you think about it, you think about some of the best weapons that they got for him. Seth Roberts, Willie Snead, Sammy Watkins, Dez Bryant. And it's really sad when you look around the league at these other quarterbacks and how there will be these question marks with them. And then the team will be like, all right, we're going to go get this guy over here. We're going to go get this proven receiver and a young guy too. Put them together so we can have all the questions answered. Boom. There you go. But for Lamar, Ravens said nope.
But you know what? You know what's crazy about that?
Everything.
And I had to think. No, I had to think about it because the names you just said.
Mm-hmm.
Let's scroll back 10 years ago.
Okay.
With Joe Flacco, they actually did give Joe Flacco some wide receivers. He had Derek Mason, he had Anquan Bolden, he had Steve Smith, he had Torrey Smith. At one point, he had Mark Clayton. Now, Mark Clayton wasn't the greatest, but he was all right. But his weapons were more than what Lamar has ever had in his career so far.
They were, but it's still that same style. Because I forgot to include Deshaun Jackson, DeMarcus Robinson too.
Oh, yeah.
But with Flacco, they did a lot of the same stuff. Got guys past their prime. Mm-hmm. Steve Smith Sr., when they signed him, he fit in perfectly with the attitude and whatnot. Mm-hmm. He's Marcus Peters on offense. Steve Smith Sr. fit in perfectly. He's a 35-year-old wide receiver.
Well, he was 33 at the time.
Oh, 33. Oh,
my heavens. He's such a young spring chicken.
Well, there you go. 33-year-old wide receiver. 33.
And Anquan was 30, I believe, when he came. So
now, Anquan, he was still a little older, but that was good because he helped them get over the hump big time. Yeah. But see, with Anquan though, Anquan, he was 30, but they paired him with Torrey Smith, who they had drafted the year before. And not the year before. They paired him with Torrey Smith. And so he had Anquan Bolden, Torrey Smith, and then they went and got Jacoby Jones too. After he fumbled that playoff game away, they were like, oh, okay, hold up now. We see something in him. Hopefully he don't fumble for us, but we see something in him. They went and got him too. So it's like they had a possession receiver, number one guy. Mm-hmm. Then they had Torrey Smith as that deep ball threat, the good number two. And then they had somebody who could play receiver, Jacoby Jones, but he was just a playmaker at receiver when he got the ball in his hands, and obviously a bigger playmaker in the return game. So it was a really nice mix. And then they still had Ed Dixon and Dennis Pitta. Mm-hmm. So Dennis Pitta, he was taking off at that time. Ed Dixon was still helping out, contributing too. Then they had Ray Rice. And they had Bernard Pierce. And then, the previous year, which
Ricky Williams.
Oh, yeah, Ricky Williams was a beast, man. I love Ricky Williams with the Ravens.
I did too.
But so they had like these weapons at different levels. And it's no coincidence. Hey, that's when Flacco and them won the Super Bowl. Wow. So it's like, but other times, like with Derek Mason was nice. Mm-hmm. But he was another receiver, older guy, past his prime. Steve Smith Sr. was nice, especially that first year, even though he did have a little dropsy sometimes, but he made more plays than he dropped. But he was nice that first year. Then the injuries just started hitting him up, and then that was a wrap after. Well, he stayed for 3 years. He finished out his contract, but really that first year, that was the one for Steve Smith Sr. Yeah. But over the years too, there's been Flacco got a washed up TJ Houshmandzadeh. Oh, he got a
Rashard Perry.
Hey, that's my guy now. But
you like BP? BP was good though for one season.
You remember the guy? He used to do that dance. Was it Kelly Washington or Kerry Washington? Receiver from
Kelly. I think it was Kelly Washington.
Yeah, Kelly Washington. I believe that was his name.
Him. They my point is Flacco had it rough too. He had it rough. And the thing when you think about it with Flacco, it's like this was the Ravens' first real franchise quarterback, and they never even went in for him like that. So now it's like, all right, you would think, all right, hey, we messed up with Flacco. We did get a Super Bowl, and when we got a Super Bowl, look at what Flacco had around him. You would think like, all right, they learned from that. They learn their lesson. But then you get Lamar, and you get somebody who can do more than Flacco, and who is just anything could happen on any given play with Lamar, and not just in the passing game, but in the running game too. You would think like, man, we got somebody here. This dude is different, but they ain't went in like that for him. So it's just been sad to see over the years, and especially this year. And I had said it all off season, because I know a lot of Ravens fans. They're like, hey, well, we always got to sign receivers here and there. We should let our young guys get a shot. And I could understand that argument, because a lot of Ravens teams just haven't let the young guys develop that they drafted. So, okay, I get that. But this was not the year for that. This is not the year to experiment and be like, all right, we're going to roll with the young guys. No. You got a quarterback in the last year of his rookie deal, actually on a 5th-year option. Saw them little $1 million cap hits, $2 million cap hits. That's out the window. This year is $23 million. So it's like this is as cheap. Well, this was as cheap as it's ever going to get. And get no cheaper. So now my worry is if they even do sign Lamar, a lot of fans have it in their head like, oh, well, if they sign Lamar, well, then they're not going to be able to get any weapons. Well, what weapons were they getting when they didn't sign Lamar? So what will really change? But then at the same time, I would be scared that they would use the contract that they gave him to be like, oh, well, we can't pay anybody else. We can't bring in any big names for you at the receiver position anymore because we ain't got the money for it. So it's a very tricky and scary situation, even though there are obviously ways around it. Because you see teams, even though they pay their quarterbacks, they still bringing in people. But I would be scared that the Ravens may do something like that. I would hope that they wouldn't. But just the way that they've moved already, like, why wouldn't they?
Now, do you think that it's a issue organizationally, or do you think that somebody needs to move, whether it's Greg Roman or John Harbaugh himself?
Greg Roman could leave tomorrow, but the organization, they still have their same philosophy. That's why Greg Roman, if he gets the job, well, really, I feel like when he gets the job at Stanford, I feel like we're just waiting on an announcement any day now. But if and when that does happen, all right, cool. Greg Roman's going.
He ain't getting that
now who's going to be the next guy to get the blame at offensive court? Because that's where it always goes. Remember Cam Cameron, obviously. Yep. Remember Mark Trestman. Remember Marty Morningweg. Remember all these offensive coordinators that done came through. Now, Gary Kubiak, he did it smart because Gary Kubiak came through, had the best Ravens offense ever. Obviously before the 2019, but best Ravens offense ever. Then John Elway hit, and he even told the Ravens too. He's like, "Oh, I ain't going nowhere. I'm here, baby." He got that text from John Elway. Hey, I want you to come through. Bye, Baltimore. I'm out. Love y'all, but I'm going. But that usually with the offensive coordinators, it's always issues. It's always probably we always complaining about the offense, the inconsistencies with it, the issues with it. And we always point at the offensive coordinator. Oh, that is him. It's him. But it's a common denominator with all those offensive coordinators. So I think even if Greg Roman's gone, whoever they bring in, whoever they promote, whoever they hire, as long as Ravens still got this same way of thinking, then I think it's going to be a lot of the same issues. I hope that it's not, but I don't have much confidence that much is going to change as far as the offensive philosophy. And
one more follow-up question with that is, there is a receiver that we talk about a lot here on the Flex Zone. OBJ he's out.
No, Dre, just no.
Go ahead, man.
Do you think we even have a shot, or do you think it's just
OBJ ain't coming here, man? I don't think OBJ.
That's Engraven being nice. Engraven's being nice.
Man, like,
and that's
it's like you think about it. Like you look, what Dallas put up? 50 points. How much points they put up yesterday?
Oh, 50. They put up 50. I think it's like 54.
It's like it's hard for me to do that.
Put up 30.
They did it in real life.
30. Put up 30 in 10 minutes.
Oof.
And also
they were playing the Colts though.
And the Lions beat the Jaguars, a team the Ravens lost to 40-18, by the way.
If I'm Odell, I'm looking. And
Why?
no, I'm looking at the Cowboys and the Giants and who's the last? Oh, the Bills.
Yeah,
I'm
Bills.
looking at them like, ooh, okay. Now Giants, I go visit. Probably, I think Odell just went there to probably talk to some of his old friends, get some free dinners. I don't think he goes to but I think he'll go to the Bills. With the Cowboys, I always felt like with the Cowboys, like they just publicized everything too much. As far as their interest in Odell. But I mean, we'll see. But he got to be looking at those teams. And even the Chiefs. The Chiefs are apparently interested too. We'll see, but he ain't had no visit with them yet. But he got to be looking at those teams and then looking at the Ravens. Like, I don't know, because Ravens are not trending in the same direction. Like the record is nice. They 8-4. They 8-4. It's at number 3 in the AFC, only behind the Chiefs and the Bills. And that's like when you think about this Ravens team, that is like that's great. You think about all the issues that the Ravens got, everything that they done been through and still going through, and for them to be 8-4, like wow. And hey, their record could have been a lot better, but at the same time, it could have been a lot worse too. So with who this Ravens team is, I'll take that all day, no problem. But Odell Beckham got to be looking at that like, oof, where would I fit in there? Like, what's gonna be my role, if any? He's got to be looking at the receivers that the Ravens have picked up. Be looking at what their contribution is. Be looking at the receivers that the Ravens have already. And the ones that they drafted, minus Rashad Bateman because he's hurt, and now minus Tylan Wallace too. But even before Tylan Wallace got hurt, he got to be looking at that too. Like, man, these guys, like, they're there, but I mean, he might as well not be there. It's like the Ravens, for some of the receivers, it's like the only reason they carried him on the roster is just because it's an NFL requirement. I feel like if the NFL let you do whatever with the roster, Ravens would be like, receivers, no, we don't need none of them. give us 12 tight ends. I mean, because they got 5 of them now.
Yeah.
But it's I don't think Odell Beckham Jr. And then the money part too. The money part, like Ravens, I know Josina Anderson, she said that they were interested in him too, which I was surprised. But I just think it'll just stay there as them just being interested. I don't think any significant move is gonna happen. I don't think, even if they set up for a visit, be like, hey, we'll see. But I think with the money too, like you could construct it in a way where the cap hit could be low this year and then it could be a lot higher next year. But I don't see him wanting to go to the Ravens because apparently they're saying he wants this team to be his last team. Another thing to think about, and my last point on this, is you got Odell Beckham Jr. If he really wants this next team to be his last team, you got to look at the future of that team.
Mm-hmm.
Cowboys, Dak Prescott, locked in.
Yep.
Bills, Josh Allen, locked in.
Yep.
Giants, Daniel Jones is not locked in. Ravens, Lamar Jackson is not locked in. Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, locked in.
Oh, yeah.
So you got to think about that. There could be so much uncertainty right now. There's uncertainty at 2 of those teams at the quarterback position. That's the person who's going to be helping you do your job. That's the person that's going to be throwing you the ball. And if you don't even know if that person's even going to be on that team next year, that's got to be like, ooh, yeah, I don't know all about that one. So it's looking like I said, I really didn't think it was going to be the Cowboys, and I still think it'll be the Bills. But those are the 2 situations, and then along with the Chiefs if he ever gets a visit with them. But those are the situations where it's like there's certainty at the quarterback position beyond this year. And Odell, his thinking is beyond this year. So I'm sure that could help sway his decision.
Engraven, what are your thoughts on the Roquan Smith trade and his future? Because I don't think EDC makes that trade unless he has that 20+ million in his budget for next year. A lot of people don't realize these guys budget these things out when they make trades like this. You give up a 2nd-round pick. We know the Ravens are cheap. We say here they use the coupon book. Getting a guy like Roquan, giving up that 2nd-round pick. They're going to sign Roquan before Lamar. That's not breaking news. They're going to sign Roquan before Lamar. I think Lamar gets franchised. The Ravens do have the leverage, in my opinion. But thoughts on Roquan Smith and the defense overall, playing better. Got to give them that credit. Hopefully we see a job soon, but playing better.
Oh, man. I saw something on Twitter the other day that said think it was yesterday. It was like, oh, Jabo just been practicing for 7 weeks. But we ain't seen him. So
Kolar, all these
it-
guys. What's up?
it's
What's up?
tough, man. And then now with Kolar, like, who knows? But with Roquan Smith, the defense had been playing better before he got there. Then when he got there, they started playing even better. But I agree with you. I don't think he's going anywhere. I think the Ravens will definitely sign him. But something that's interesting, and a lot of times, if I don't really think about it, I'll forget about it. Is that he doesn't have an agent either. So he's riding out just like Lamar, and I love it for both of them. Because it takes a lot of guts to be able to do that, standing on your own. And of course, you got help. You got legal help and whatnot. You got your camp and whatnot. But to do all of it without an agent, that can help you in the immediate future and the long-term future. Reason immediate future, because obviously you get to keep more of your money, but also you get to learn. You get to learn about the business that much more. So in the long-term future, after you retire, you could be like, you know what? I can be an agent, or I can give counsel to these young guys. Maybe if they thinking about getting an agent or not, I can let them know the good, the bad, the ups, the downs. I can let them know all that stuff because I have plenty of experience with it myself. So it can help you in the long run. It can help other people in the long run too. But with Roquan Smith, I definitely think the Ravens are going to sign him. As far as the defense, the defense been doing pretty good. They have had some tough tasks with them because the defense, and it's tricky, but that is where most of the money goes. But the defense has, in the past couple of weeks, and throughout some other games this season too, where the defense they've been holding it down. They hold it down, and the offense will be struggling. It's like, oh man, they'll be struggling. The defense force a 3 and out. The defense force a punt. The defense will hold the other team to a field goal, but the offense will be struggling. And then the offense might finally get it going. Then the defense, they might let up. In yesterday's game against the Broncos, I was so glad the way that the time left in the game worked out. Because had there been 10 seconds, maybe even 5, but had there been 10 seconds left, 10 more seconds in the game, Broncos win without a doubt. Because on that last drive, the game-ending drive where the Broncos had the ball, they were moving the ball downfield. The defense was not stopping them. They were moving the ball downfield. Jerry Jeudy, he caught a big pass, and Russell Wilson, he had that big scramble. And they came close, man. And a 63-yard field goal, oof. Like that, if he gets another shot, he might have made that. I was glad they didn't call timeout. But whenever a team calls timeout on that first attempt, then whatever happened on that first attempt, the exact opposite happens on the second attempt, like every time. So he missed that first one. So if they would have called timeout, he probably would have nailed that second one. But because was it Brandon McManus? I think he was on point yesterday.
Yeah, he was.
He was on point.
I got my 3 nuggets, man.
Yeah, man. So I think, but had there been a lot more time left in the game, or not even a lot more time, just 10 more seconds, I think Broncos win. But the defense, they is very tricky. Because like I said, they'll hold teams for the longest, and then at the end of the games, maybe it's because they gas or something. Sometimes it could be a little bit of that prevent defense because they'll be playing like way back, and it'll be a close game. But overall, they've been pretty good. They've been pretty good. I would like to see the offense help them out a lot more. But I would also like to see them just be more clutch because they are sort of they remind me of the big brothers of the team, because those are where most of the veterans are. That's where the biggest investments are. That's where the most significant investments are. So I think more is expected of them, and more should be expected of them. So I just would hope that they will be a little bit more clutch. But the defense is a good defense overall, and I think this week that they'll get Marcus Williams back. Ain't nobody said anything. I ain't heard nothing, but I think this will be the week that they get Marcus Williams back, and that'll help. Them getting Kyle Hamilton back, that helped a lot. When Ajabo ever makes his debut, we'll see. So I can't say whether he'll help or not because we don't know how he is in the NFL yet because he ain't taking a snap yet. I was happy for Adafe away with the sack yesterday. I was like, okay, there he goes. Because I know it's been a rough season for him. A little sophomore slump, so to speak. But yeah, man, this defense, they can do some things, man. They can really make some stuff happen, as they have, as they have. I feel like if the offense could ever get it going consistently, that would obviously make the defense's job a lot easier. Because they would be on the field. They could be on they'd be on the field less, but they would be in better situations. Because if the offense is putting up points, then the defense that can make those other offenses more one dimensional. Like, and I hate using it as an example because everybody uses it as an example for every single thing. But like in 2019, oh man, that season, man, it was great season, but man, it everybody compares it for everything, and it's like, man, was that the only season that the Ravens ever had? But in 2019, with the way that the offense was just going crazy, the defense, they like, I don't even really think they were that good. They weren't bad now, but I not even that they weren't that good. I think they were a bit overrated.
It wasn't as good as 2018's defense. 2018's defense was really good.
Was that still? No, that wasn't wet. No, that was Weddle. That was without CJ Mosley.
Yep, CJ Mosley.
Oh, Lamar's rookie year.
Darius Smith, Judon was still there.
Oh, okay, yeah. These ain't the same old Ravens. I think that's them. But yeah, that with 2019, I feel like their defense, they got to look better than they were because of what that offense was doing. Because that offense was going crazy. 9 times out of 10, there was some weeks where it was a little bit slower, but 9 times out of 10, they were going crazy. So that put the defense in really good situations to where it made it easier for them. So I feel like if this year, if the offense could ever get going, I know it's a lot to ask, especially this late in the season. But if the offense could ever get going, then it would be, I think it could be a lot of the same stuff. And this, again, this is a really good defense. So yeah, that would help out a lot.
I want to ask about a comment that Byron made last week. It was Byron made the comparison for LeBron's first year, his first exit out of Cleveland with the Cavaliers, and his frustration behind them not really giving him any help, and saying that Lamar is kind of mirroring that right now, and possibility of him leaving Baltimore. Do you see that comparison, and do you think that Lamar really could leave the Baltimore Ravens?
Oh boy, I think he really could. Now I don't think he would be doing a whole ESPN special and taking his talents to South Beach, but that it very well could happen. Like we were talking about earlier, he could be looking around the league like, man, like why they ain't do this for me? Why they not doing it for me? Man, if I go here, they got him. Oh, if I go here, they got him. Oh, they really gonna take, because like teams, they know. It's like they know and they appreciate when they have something special, and you want to build around that. You want to bring the best potential out for that person, but Ravens just ain't done it. They ain't done it. And so yeah, I think it is a real possibility. Like I said, I hope it doesn't happen. I really hope it doesn't happen. But if I'm Lamar, like, and he said he'd be trolling sometimes over there, liking the pictures of himself in different jerseys and stuff like that, man. I mean, that ain't a big deal, but it is funny. But it's like, man, if I'm the mom thinking about it, man, he got to be. I mean, obviously, he got to think about all his options because he ain't got no deal right now. He ain't got no contract, so all the options are on the table. So it's got to be in the back of his mind, just with the whole situation, and now with him being out for however long he ends up being out for. That gives you even more time to think about it, because you sitting there, you're rehabbing whatever injury is, his knee injury. So you got a little more time. Turn on the TV, turn to ESPN, NFL Network, Fox Sports, whatever. You got more time. You know they're gonna bring it up. Yeah. You got more time on social media. You know it's being talked about there. Everybody tagging you in this, that, and the third every second. So it's got to be something that he's thinking about. And you could scroll past without interacting with any tweets, liking them or whatever, but you still see that stuff. And Lamar, I think something with him that it's like a gift and a curse all at the same time. He lets people know how accessible he is, and he lets people know that he looks at all this stuff. And that could be a great thing because fans could be like, oh, I could send Lamar something, I could tweet him something, and he'll respond. I could tag him in something, he'll like it, da-da-da-da. But at the same time, you got some trolls and some people with a bunch of negative vibes or whatnot that's going to try to get a rise out of you. Just like obviously what happened last week after the Jaguars game. It worked for that guy. That guy ended up getting famous off of that. It ended up blowing up on all these networks and stuff. Oh, my tweet done made it. I got a rise out of Lamar. I got him. So, but Lamar, he lets people know that he looks at all that stuff. And he said that multiple times. So people gonna continue to put it out there. So I know it's got to be something that he might be thinking about, especially because he's business minded too, and this is part of the business. It's part of the business. He knows it's part of the business. He's been on. Well, he came in at a sort of different part when Joe Flacco was still here, but he knew he was getting Joe Flacco on up out of here. But this is a different situation with him. So yeah, I definitely think it's something that he's thinking about. But yeah, like I said, everything that you brought up that LeBron did, just minus the whole special on ESPN.
Man, with that said, man, my thing is
Here we go.
My thing is this with the contract stuff.
Okay.
I want him to get as much money as he possibly can. I hope he gets $250 guaranteed.
But
there
it goes.
You know a butt was coming.
Yeah.
But I can see it from the Ravens end as well. I mean, he is hurt right now. And he was hurt last year. I would love to see him take maybe 200, 205, 210 and demand them to give him another weapon to use, or maybe some more help on offense. Maybe meet them somewhere in the middle. I will hope that happens. I'm not sure if it's going to happen, but I would love to see that from at least from him. Like you'd be like, all right, look, please give me this, that, and the third. I'll take somewhat of a pay cut, but not really. But I'll take just a slight bit of a pay cut. But and I was telling my cousin this earlier, but I mean, yeah, 231 is the minimum. Yeah, he said 231 is the minimum. But at least around that 215, 210 ish. I mean, because the last contract that I heard was not 133, but maybe 180 something. So I don't think the numbers is too much off. It's just probably maybe the language and some of the way the money is structured. But I mean, hopefully, down the stretch, we might. Of course, I think we're going to make the playoffs. Maybe win a playoff game, maybe not. But I mean, it's still 50-50. Like you said, it's still 50-50. But I just hope they meet somewhere in the middle. That's all I'm hoping for. And I'm pretty sure that's all. Every fan of Lamar Jackson is hoping for is that the Ravens and him meet somewhere in the middle. And because people are hung up on the 250 and the 231s and all this other stuff. But we shall see.
The thing with that, why should he take less now when they didn't do more for him before? All these years they had so many opportunities to do more. Yeah. Why should he take not even a pay cut, because it would obviously still be a pay raise going from 23 mil to whatever it is. But why should he take less than he can get just so the Ravens can be all right, now we'll really build around you? That would be year 6. They had 5 years, 5 opportunities, 5 years of opportunity to build around him. And nope, they didn't do it. If I'm Lamar,
that's a strong argument. That's a strong argument. I can't say anything about it because that's pretty much what they did. They have not given him the proper weapons that he needs to succeed or grow as a quarterback. They babied him somewhat.
Yeah. If I'm him, I ain't taking nothing less from the Ravens. I'm not giving them no hometown discount. And hey, Ravens are a business too, so I'm sure they understand all of that too. And they got to have a backup plan in place too for if and when they can't come to a contract agreement. Okay, then they like I think it's gonna happen anyway. That they could end up tagging them and trading them to whoever the highest bidder is for as far as picks and all that stuff. But yeah, if I'm Lamar, I'm not taking a penny less because you had your chance, you had your chances, and you didn't take your chances. You had opportunities, but you ain't do it. You decided you still want to be a defensive team. All right, cool. I'm nice, but I ain't stupid. For real. He's nice, but he ain't stupid. He don't remember all that stuff. So I would not take no discount, not give no discount, nothing, because the Ravens have shown you where their investments lie, what they want to do on the football team, what their philosophy is. And you got to be thinking like, man, what am I do here? Like, what are we really gonna get done if they not doing this, that, and the third for me and take a pay cut? I'd be like, nah, I'm straight.
Well, engraving.
Just one from down south. I mean, from 95 South. Where would the Ravens go if this Lamar Jackson thing goes how do you think it will go? Lamar Jackson's out of Baltimore. Where do the Ravens go next?
I think it will be a mix of Tyler Huntley in the draft. I think because Tyler Huntley, I believe he's going to be an exclusive rights free agent next year, so they could tender him. And if with the way that the tenders work, if you place a tender on a player, no exclusive rights free agent. I don't think another team can sign them. Because I know restricted free agents. If you place a tender on them and another team signs them to an offer sheet, if you don't match them, they go to the other team and you get a draft pick. But with exclusive rights free agents, I'm not sure. But anyway, I think it would be a mix of Tyler Huntley and getting somebody through the draft. I think it obviously would not be impossible for the Ravens to bounce back, but I think it would be some ugly years, a couple of them. And I really do think that would be what could inspire change with the Ravens. Because if Lamar leaves, then at that point, it's all eyes on John Harbaugh. It really would be. It should have been like that already, but look, got Lamar, okay, cool, whatever. But if Lamar's gone, all eyes on John Harbaugh. And I know he lives next door, the EDC, they buddies and whatnot, and that's great. I love that, and I appreciate that, especially that family aspect of the business. But it is business, and I do think that without all eyes being on him, that pressure would really be on. It would really be on. So if there was not success with whatever plan they had after Lamar, then I think John Harbaugh's the long leash, maybe one of the longest leashes in the league. I feel like it would get cut way short at that point if there wasn't a big turnaround.
Guys, if you're in the chat, please hit the like button. It's 80 plus people in here. Engravings here. Hit the like button. Show support to the channel. Get your comments in. Hit the like button. We greatly appreciate it. And if you're new, subscribe. We do Ravens content, Ravens post-game shows after each game as well. Engraving, before we get you out of here, brother, I got to ask you about the reigning division champion Bengals. They beat the Chiefs again. Joe Burrow now 3-0 against the Chiefs.
Yeah, well, that's crazy, boy.
They lose Jamar Chase, but that's right, they got T. Higgins. Oh, right, they got Tyler Boyd. Hayden Hurst looks like a number one draft pick who we didn't have. Joe Mixon is out. Samaje P. Ryan looking like he's back at Oklahoma. How concerned are you with the Bengals? Because I already thought this game was going to be for the division when I saw the schedule before the season, Week 18 in Cincinnati. Probably will be the Sunday night game. Remember where you heard that first, for the division. And what do you think? When we have you back on the show after the season, what are we talking about? Put on your look into your crystal ball, your engraving crystal ball. Man, storyline after the season, playoffs, no playoffs, one and done. What we?
I think everything depends on Lamar's health. If Lamar plays again, then I think playoffs for sure. I think they'll even win at least one playoff game. I don't see Super Bowl with this Ravens team. Like I said earlier in the show, I hope to be completely wrong about that, but I don't see it. They You are 8-4, and again, something that we gotta. Oh, I just realized they didn't do it in the Broncos game. The Broncos game was the first game where they didn't have a 2-score lead. I just realized that. Wow. Yep. But something to remember. To keep in mind, the Ravens in every game besides the Broncos one, they've gotten a 2-score lead on every single opponent. So that is great. That is something great to keep in mind. It's something great to think about because that means you know how to build a lead. You know how to score points and score 2 times when your opponent doesn't score at all. So that's a great thing. But Ravens, they got to figure out how to finish better. They got to figure out how to be closers because that's been their big issue this season has been closing, has been sealing the deal. They've had issues closing on offense. They've had issues closing on defense. And it's like we see a lot of the same stuff. But again, with the injury to Lamar, we're just waiting to see when he comes back. But if he misses a game, maybe 2, that'd be lovely if Tyler Huntley could go 2-0. But I mean, I think that's unfair expectations to expect him to do that. But if it happens, that'd be great. But if Lamar can be back and Ravens can get into the playoffs, I would say a high for them would be AFC Championship. But right now, I don't know, I just don't see it, man. I don't see it because it still feels like they're dealing with the same issues. I know Lamar, he talked about it from the beginning of the season. Oh, we don't want to peak too soon. We don't want to peak too fast. We don't want to peak too early. They're like, these Ravens ain't peaking at all on offense, man. But they just got to be better, man. They got to be better and be better closers, be better finishers. But it seems like it's just the same issues repeatedly every week. There's a lot of the same problems, and whatever your problems are, if you don't get them fixed in the regular season, teams are going to eat you alive in the playoffs because that's when those problems get highlighted in a major way come playoff time. So I remember in 2020, in that playoff game, like Ravens had offensive line issues all year, but they also had issues snapping the ball all year long. 2020 playoff game, what happened? That snap went way over Lamar's head. He go run to get it, throw the ball away, landed right on his head out the game. So it came through. 2019, their thing was, all right, if plan A ain't working, what's going to be plan B? They went straight to plan B without even really trying plan A too much, and boom, got whooped at the crib. 2018, Lamar rookie season. The Ravens, they didn't even have a plan B. They were doing the RPOs and all, and it was nice in the regular season, like cool. Chargers came back around. They're like, oh, we playing at your crib this time. Y'all want to try that stuff if you want to? Y'all want to make no adjustments? All right, watch this. Smacked in the face at the crib. Even though they started coming back at the end, but Chargers ran them out because they didn't make adjustments. So what the issues in regular season, if you're not able to fix your issues from regular season, it's going to come back to get you in the postseason. So Ravens, if they're going to make a run, if they're going to make something happen, they better start fixing these issues fast, quick, fast, and in a hurry. And I think you're actually limited with how much you can really fix the issues because Lamar's out for now. He's out for now. And you can start trying to work on some things with Tyler Huntley, but what happens when Lamar comes back? So you got to work on the stuff with him too. So, but we'll see, man. Obviously hoping for the best. With these Ravens, man, I mean, as y'all know, I could talk about Ravens all day, every day. I mean, we do talk about Ravens all day, every day. But it's all from a place of love. It's all from a place of love. We wouldn't be this passionate about the team if we did not have a lot of love for this team. They drive us crazy. And I said it yesterday, and I said it other days too. You have to be an insane person. You have to be crazy, literally crazy, to be a Ravens fan. So we all crazy together.
They embody the city, Engraven. They embody the city. Very much so. Engraven, we can't thank you enough, brother. Give it up for Engraven, y'all. We appreciate you. Let them know how to keep up with you, Engraven, what you got going on the channel. Maybe tease some videos you got this week, because I know you got some content dropping. You might drop something tonight, knowing you.
Oh man, yeah. But yeah, the channel is Engraven Viz. Team Keep It Clean, so it's family friendly. Everybody more than welcome to come through. And if it's for you, great, come through. If it's not for you, that's fine too. We try to show love and respect to everybody on the channel. And that's in the comment section. That's to any player or coach that we talk about. Even if we disagree with something they do, the way they operate or whatnot, it's still got to be respect at the beginning and the end of the day. It's never anything personal, anything like that. I saw, man, I was like just disgusted. I saw there's been this video going around of fans like screaming and yelling at Greg Roman and stuff and just saying all kind of stuff. I'm like, man, it's never that serious to me. And it never should be. But yeah, man, we have fun on there. We have a good time. Subscribe, check us out. You can follow on Twitter, Instagram, of course, YouTube. Everything is Engraven Vids. There's videos literally every single day. Sometimes multiple videos a day. Like today, just busy, crazy busy. The day before that was crazy busy. The day before that was crazy busy. But you'll have something every day. Always something new. So appreciate y'all having me on as always. And much love to all of y'all, man.
Oh man, I feel like the theme song about to stop playing.
Hey, Graven, happy holidays to you and the family, and happy New Year. And we'll have you back in 2023, hopefully, with some good topics to talk about. With the
hopefully, man. We'll see how these Ravens do, man.
We'll say glass half full. Subscribe to Engraven Vids. Once again, give it up for Engraven. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you, man.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate you as always, Engraven. Definitely check you out on a live stream. Just coming soon.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah,
wait, hold on, wait, real quick. Last thing, I promise. Last thing.
Mm-hmm.
Commanders, what you think, yo? What you think?
You got to salute him, Engraven. You got to salute him on the show.
Yeah. Commander's sneaky, man. But when is Chase Young gonna play? I feel like who are we gonna see first, Chase Young or David Ajabo? Who's gonna play first? For real, like I keep seeing the reports every week. Oh, Chase Young is still over. They don't want to risk it yet. And I mean, it is your number one overall pick? No, number one overall pick.
Number two, but our number one guy, but number two overall. Yep.
Who's number one that year?
Joe Burrow.
Right.
Oh, okay, yeah. Whoops.
But
yeah, man, and I know that's a long-term investment. You don't want to rush no long-term investment back. So I get it. But they've been sneaking around, man. They've been sneaking around. What's Carson Wentz's contract situation? Is there like an out that they can do? Does he have any like terms where if he plays like a certain amount of snaps, then it would increase the draft pick that they gave up for? Like, what's the terms with him?
So it was if he played 70% of the snaps, the third round pick that we gave Indianapolis would turn into a second.
Oh yeah, they trying.
But you know that's not happening, and pretty much we can let him go at the end of this year.
Oh really?
Because his entire contract was capped this year, and there's nothing else really after this.
Oh, y'all said he's out of there. Then he knows he's out of there.
Yeah, he's definitely out of there. He's definitely out of there. And Chase Young is probably gonna play.
Yeah, he won't even have to request a release like Baker Mayfield did today. He gonna be gone.
Yep. And Chase Young, I expect him to play after the bye week.
Y'all ain't had
this time.
Oh no, y'all on y'all bye week now? No, y'all just played yesterday. That tie game.
No. The bye week is coming up.
Y'all ain't have a bye week yet.
Yo, crazy.
The season getting ready to be over. Y'all still talking about bye weeks, man. Man.
So the playoffs, we haven't bye week yet.
Wow, that's crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah. Our bye week is next week. Then we play the Giants again at FedEx Field.
You gonna go?
What?
No.
What? My cutoff for the weather happened already, man. I already told you guys catch me in September, October. I ain't going to no games in November or December.
Okay, I ain't mad at that, man. It does get super cold up there.
Man, it was freezing yesterday, and it was in the 40s. So yeah, it was cold.
Ooh. I went to the coldest game I ever been to was at M&T Bank. It was Ravens versus the Jets. It was when Ed Reed was on the Jets.
Ooh.
And boy, that game was cold and windy. It was so bad. I stayed out there the whole time. My wife, she went upstairs. She said she couldn't take it. But I stayed out there the whole time, and it was cold, man. And I forgot my gloves.
No.
It was rough, man. But told you to be a Ravens fan, you got to be crazy.
Well,
gotta be crazy.
I'll give you one better. I went to that 08 game with the his Washington Redskins at the time when it was like -8 degrees or something outside. It was not for the faint of heart. I tell you that. Not for the faint of heart. It was extremely cold that day. I had all kinds of hand warmers.
I don't like nobody that much. I don't like nobody that much.
Man. Because I went to that game a couple weeks ago. What was the game?
Carolina game.
The Carolina game. I told y'all that was a little cold. And then last year I went to that Browns game on Sunday night. That was a cold game.
Oh, the 4-interception game.
Yeah,
I was at the game too. It was cold.
And when you in that 500, that upper section.
Oh, you getting
the wind hit you first. The wind hit you first, then it go to the field.
That's tough, man.
Yeah, watching this offense, you might as well go ahead and stay home and stay warm because you're gonna be
Yeah, it's nasty, man. But I appreciate y'all, man.
Thank you again.
As always.
We'll talk to you top of the year after the season. Appreciate it again. Thank you.
For sure, man.
Appreciate it. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Again, give it up for Engraven. Thank you for his time. The busy man, always working hard. Engraven. Man, a lot to unpack there. Again, shout out to Engraven. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Let's keep things moving. Let's roll. Dre, you want to talk about? I did a video on it earlier. You guys can check out my thoughts on the channel on Deion. I want to hit this Deion topic while we're talking about football, Dre. Going to Jackson State, leaving Jackson State for Colorado, excuse me. Your thoughts, should there be backlash? What do you see him doing for Colorado? And do you agree with me that the NFL could possibly be in Deion's future one day?
Well, let me start with saying that I'm blessed to have all my brothers here who are all HBCU graduates. 3 of them, including myself, come from. Hey, Ms. Harris, how are you? Thank you for checking in. Come from the Morgan State University, and my brother Byron right up the road on right up the highway on 95 from Delaware State. So shout out to all of us here who are HBCU graduates. There's been a split with our community and backlash about whether or not Deion Sanders should have taken this job, but I think that Deion Sanders he's done his job. I think that when you watch the 60 Minutes interview, he said that he was going to be at Jackson State, but he would entertain other job offers. He's won back-to-back SWAC championships. This year was an undefeated season. He's brought notoriety to Jackson State. And by him taking this job, being the first HBCU head coach to go from an HBCU to a Power 5 school, what more can he actually do? So, I mean, people have these nasty comments about he should have stayed, he should have established something. Look, the man is going from $300,000 a year to $1.3 million with a $5 million contract overall. What more can he actually do? Being the history maker that he's been, bringing notoriety to a school that a lot of us haven't even heard of, whether or not we went to a HBCU or not. A lot of us have not heard about Jackson State. So I think that all factors in. I think that, like I said, I think Deion has done his job, and I think that we need to be happy that he's possibly trailblazing a way for other HBCU head coaches to be able to go from a HBCU to a Power 5 school, bring in the fact that athletes can go to a HBCU and that they don't have to go to the power schools like the Alabamas, the Ohio States, whatever. And not only that, but he also on ESPN College Game Day had them go to Jackson State. That's huge. So, in my opinion, I don't think that Deion Sanders owes anybody anything, especially for people who are criticizing Deion Sanders, who leave their jobs for a 50-cent raise. So we all want more money. We all want, the growth and opportunity. So I think that Deion, like I said, I don't think that he's done. Yes, bring on the money. Show me the money. But I don't think that he owes, like I said, I don't think he owes Jackson State or anybody else anything else, because he also invested his own money. Let's not forget that Deion, when you watch that 60 Minutes interview, he made it so that way people, the players' names were on the back of their jerseys. He had sponsors come in, such as Walmart, so that way they could have a practice field, updated facilities. So he's done his part as far as HBCUs, but it's also up to us who are HBCU graduates to continue to donate, so that way we can make sure that we invest in ourselves. And again, we got to do the work as well. We can't just rely on one man. I think it's unfair to put everything of the culture on Deion Sanders.
And with that said, Dre, I agree with you, and I agree with what Byron said on this video. Make sure y'all check it out.
Yes,
He
yes,
had good points, and he made a lot of sense. I'm not upset with Deion Sanders, man. I'm not upset at all. He did what he was supposed to do at Jackson. I look at it this way: from the time I was born, from now, I've seen Deion in the NFL, and Deion is always and always has been the ultimate opportunist. I mean, he went from the Falcons to the 49ers to the Cowboys to Washington to the Ravens. I mean, and then he went to the NFL Network, and now he's at Jackson. Now he's with Colorado, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna go probably to another big school. He doesn't stay in one place, people. I mean, he told you in '95 it must be the money. He told you that. He said he has a whole video about it. If you don't know about it, go on YouTube.
Yes, he does.
He has a whole video talking about the money. So I'm not mad at Deion Sanders. He's going to do what he does. He's Coach Prime. He's very popular. He's a pretty damn good coach. So shout out to him. Shout out to Jackson, for giving them a chance. He elevated that team. He elevated that whole HBCU. Now he put them on the map for somebody else to take over, and they can do big things as well. And he's going to do good things at Colorado. I mean, that speech yesterday showed me that he was giving these boys the business. Like, look, we're gonna win. You brought me in here to win, and that's exactly what we're going to do. I mean, what more can you say, man? Coach Prime, Deion Sanders is one of a kind, man. Everywhere he goes, he makes that place, that team, that network better. He's just that guy. He's just that dude. So shout out to Deion Sanders, man. I'm not upset at him. I'm not mad at him. Colorado got a good one for now.
And let me chime in real quick before Crevonte goes in with one other point. Again, there's so much backlash and splitness over Deion Sanders taking this job. However, you see these opportunities don't come around that often. And the perfect example of that is this season with the Indianapolis Colts taking Jeff Saturday, who has no head coaching experience except on the high school level, not collegiate, professionally, or anything. And he jumped to become an NFL head coach. Yet Deion Sanders were upset at him for taking an HBCU job to go to a PWI to work his way up the ranks.
And Crevonte, just a wild theory I threw out there. Who's to say Deion doesn't want to coach in the next 3 to 5 years in the NFL? And who wouldn't say maybe a team like your Commanders under new ownership, Bezos, Jay-Z, who want to absolve their sins that they've given to the public? Bringing in Deion Sanders. I'm just throwing it out there. Just a theory. Just saying.
Listen.
And the college football playoff is 12 teams now, people. Next year, 12 teams. Pac-12 is losing USC and UCLA possibly to the Big Ten. That's 2 spots right there. Just saying. Go ahead.
Hey, man, listen, I'm all for that. And another thing, Raj, something that you also alluded to since, we were watching Deion all our lives. He's always been a showman.
Yep.
He's always been a very charismatic, smooth guy, smooth talking guy, man. He's a great motivational speaker as well. You know what I'm saying? So it's not surprising that his first press conference with his new program at Colorado that he knocked it out the park. That's not even surprising. But then what's also not surprising is that he was able to go to a place that we knew nothing about and make it relevant.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like this, none of this is surprising coming from Coach. His name is Coach Prime. Nobody even uses his real name. You know what I'm saying? He's been prime time since '95. You know what I'm saying? and it has not left him. It's like, you know how they say people have like a nickname that people probably know more than their actual name, and there's like two sides to them. I don't even know who Deion Sanders is. Nobody knows who Deion Sanders is unless you knew him before Florida State. Nobody knew who Deion Sanders was. It's been prime time since '95, man. And I just say '95 because '95 just fits. He's been in the league since.
Like the late 80s, I believe, or early 90s.
Was it '89? I mean, he came in '89, right?
I believe so. 89, 90. One of the two.
Yeah, something like that. So that's prime. That's Deion, and Deion has always done what we always say, Dre, Byron, Raj.
What's best for business.
What's best for business.
Deion has not changed anything about himself. Prime has not changed a damn thing about himself. And one thing I hate about our community, and I'm kind of getting into my goofy of the week, is that we're expecting somebody to save us. And I think that's what the people who are on that side who don't like and are very critical of his decision are people who thought he should stay there forever and not better himself in any way, shape, or form. I think Deion, well, before I get into that, listen, man, nobody's going to save us. No one man is going to save us. He did a great thing, and we need to let that brother go and continue to do more great things. He made a HBCU relevant on a national stage. We had national news on Jackson State. And it's a great thing. He was there for 3 years. He gave them boys some good publicity. So something they would have never gotten if it wasn't for Coach Prime.
Yep.
And then back-to-back champions, undefeated season. Man, Jackson State don't know nothing about what Coach Prime doing for these people. Nothing. When the next time, and granted, somebody else could come in great, but honestly, anything's gonna be a step down from Coach Prime, and that's just being real. Jackson State will probably never see another undefeated season again, and that is okay because that's the level Prime took them to over these 3 years. Exposed them to coaches, NFL level coaching. Exposed them to NFL level, gameplay. The way he approached the game, he had them approach the game. He's only a Hall of Famer. He's only the best DB corner to ever play the game. You know what I'm saying? And it's like the black and in our community, it's almost like we don't want to see our own prosper at times. And it sucks. It sucks to say that. But by all means, brother, you're supposed to elevate yourself and grow. And hell, if you make some money and all at the same time, why not? Because like Byron said, or not like Dre said, people leave their job, leave their place of employment for less, much less. You understand? And I'm sure at some point we are where we are because of our growth. We didn't stay where we didn't stay where we've been at the whole time.
Yeah, Brian, they do have playoffs. They can get into the FBS playoffs, but usually they're not undefeated, like Crevonte said, so they don't get in. So now they got undefeated. They had an undefeated powerhouse. So we'll see. Let's keep the rapid fire moving. This is what we do in the Flex Zone. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We're almost at 1,200 subscribers. Help us get there tonight. Super chatters, donate to the channel, hit the like button if anything, cost you nothing. While I bring this up, Dre, I'm gonna start with you because we saw the picture, and if you didn't see the picture, here on the Flex Zone, we're going to show you the damn picture again because that's what we do here.
And Dre, don't be long-winded with this, okay? Don't go into a whole soliloquy about Jerry Jones and we know already. But go ahead, my good brother. Go ahead.
Oh boy,
Who's that?
Who's that brother?
Taking up my time. LeBron James was asked recently. Well, LeBron James said recently that the media has asked him about a variety of topics. However, they have not asked him about Jerry Jones in this photo, which is true because LeBron gets asked, about his opinion on Black Lives Matter, Brittany Griner, Kyrie Irving, but nobody's asked him about Jerry Jones. And even Jerry Jones, when this came out, you talk about a smooth talking brother in Deion. Jerry Jones, man, is a slick talker too, because he avoided this question. I mean, I've just never seen nothing like that in my life. How Jerry Jones was able to avoid the question. And what I want to get into as well is that I think that LeBron was right. He catches so much backlash when it comes to Kyrie Irving caught so much backlash, but Jerry Jones has not caught any backlash. I mean, we could go on to like Aaron Rodgers and his stance with the vaccine, Brett Favre. The same energy just hasn't been kept when it comes to our white counterparts, but when our Black counterparts have issues, they have gotten a lot of backlash. So the bottom line issue is that it's platforms like this that we have to keep these issues going and bring that notoriety so that way these issues aren't swept under the rug. And LeBron James was right, and that I hope that this does continue, that, hey, when issues like this arise, call them out. And also for everybody to check out this story about Jerry Jones from the Washington Post as well. It's a very good written article, and I would advise people to check that out. And that's something that here on the Flex Zone we are going to talk about as a future topic. There are teams still in the NFL that have never hired a Black NFL head coach, and one of them is Jerry Jones. So make sure y'all check out that story in the Washington Post about him not hiring a Black head coach.
Go ahead, Raj.
All right, let me say this, man. I like LeBron James. I think he's a great basketball player, one of the best to ever play. But certain things I just don't care about his opinion on, and this is one of them. Now, I understand that the media asks him about a lot of certain topics. Over the years, they ask him about racial things, police brutality, this thing, that thing that's going on, presidential race, or a lot of things. And sometimes he gives you, he'll like hint you on, social media, or he'll give his opinion anyway about the things that are going on. And then the media will just ask him naturally. But I honestly don't care to hear what his opinion is about Jerry Jones. I know he's a Cowboys fan. That's great. And I understand that, Jerry was at this particular event when he was 14 years old, but bro, I just want you to focus on this Lakers team, man. I want us to get over 500. I want Anthony Davis and you and Anthony Davis to continue to keep doing what y'all was doing so far, because y'all killing it right now. Y'all destroying the game right now. And it's a beautiful thing. But this is just not a topic that I really care to hear LeBron James, talk about. If anything, I want to know what you think about China. I want you to explain that because I understand you ran away from that question when once they asked you about it, and you stopped talking about it. I talk more about that, but it is what it is. I'm pretty sure now the media is going to ask LeBron about every single thing now since he wants to bring this up. But I get it, I guess, but it is what it is, man. You can go ahead, Crevonte. I'm done.
I am not surprised. Jerry Jones' stance on social issues, race issues have been very consistent. Very, very consistent. I mean, he only told the brothers, if you kneel, you up out of here. Straight up. You know what I'm saying? And Jerry Jones is what, 80? A white gentleman, a brother of the Caucasian descent.
He's 100.
80?
He's 100.
80? He's 100. Okay.
Yes.
however old, he's very much set in his ways. And I am sure he stood strong on that day in this picture. I'm sure he did. I am sure he did. And it is not, surprising whatsoever. And LeBron's comments are valid, absolutely valid, but not along with it being valid. We also understand, or if not, I'll say it. We understand why it's like that. Why Kyrie Irving gets so much flack for the things that he does, and Jerry Jones, this pops out because this is the definition of how society would define cancel culture. This is something right up the alley that could get you canceled. Something you did several years ago, maybe even decades ago, and you basically get brought to justice for what you did in that time period or whatever. But he's a part of the machine. That's why it gets swept under the rug, because Jerry Jones owns the biggest brand in the world, and he's worth several $billion. That's why nobody talks about it, because he's a part of the machine. It's when you go against the machine where you get all the attention, all the unwanted attention. It's when you go against the machine. But when you're the machine, just go ahead, make it just make it go through. It'll go away. It'll die down. But and honestly, that's why nobody said anything. That's why the media has not said anything. That's why Kyrie Irving is still being talked about, and Jerry Jones over here in a crowd stopping these black brothers from trying to get a education. That's why.
He was a spectator, according to
sure, whatever. Listen, all right, cool. And luckily, it's a picture, so that could be left for speculation, because video wasn't really a thing back in those days. But with how he feels now, how he operates now, I'm sure he stood very strong on that day.
Real quick, Crevonte, I have a theory. I didn't hear this from anybody. This is just my own volition. I just do these things. You guys know me. Remember a certain owner in DC?
Yeah.
When he was threatened, he said, "Play with me if y'all want to. I got receipts. Y'all don't want to play with me. Y'all want to come for me. I'm going to come for you." Now, who do you think would have the power, the influence, the financial pockets to find a photo like this after all of these years, Crevonte, and put it out at such a time like this, where people are saying, "Oh, you got to sell the team. Oh, you got to get rid of those Commanders. Oh, you got to get a new stadium. Oh, we getting you up out of there this year." Certain Dan Snyder, a former best friend of Jerry Jones, a former buddy, if you want to certain call him, Just think about these things. These are things you hear on the Flex Zone, by the way, if you're watching. You won't hear this anywhere else. Just think about that, Crevonte. A certain owner in DC maybe rhymes with Kreider.
Listen. Not only will I think about it, that is not far-fetched at all. That's, as a matter of fact, that's right up Daniel Snyder's alley. Because one thing he's been very consistent about is that he's going to fight. He is going to fight tooth and nail, and he's going to stand on what he said all the way till you take him out. So it is not far-fetched that the owners and probably Jerry Jones came to him and was like, bro, you wilding, you gotta go, bro. And I'm sure Dan Snyder was like, what? I got a little something to all of y'all, but guess what? You the biggest one. I'm gonna put that out. But before I go down, I gotta take somebody down with me, or at least try to. If there was a report that comes out after Daniel Snyder sells the team, I'll be like, yup, I totally believe it. Byron, you'll get a lot of praise and a lot of credit from me. But I agree. I agree, because the timing of this is very interesting as well. So no, I could buy. I'd buy that.
And it went to the Washington Post too. Open your third eye.
Jeff Bezos also involved because he owns.
There you go. And you notice all this Dan Snyder selling the teams kind of died down over the past few weeks, Crevonte. Just saying. Well, let us know your thoughts in the comments. Super chatters, vote on that poll I got up. Crevonte, we got to salute you, my brother, because you didn't get a win, but you didn't lose this past week, and you did tie. So we'll give you a salute. 20-20, heading into the bye week with the winning record still. Playoffs still possible. How you feeling with the Commandalorians?
I feel very fortunate after this game, because that game, the Giants should have won that game. Okay, I'm being completely honest. The Giants should have won that game. Not to say that the Commanders, did not have their opportunities to win, but the Giants had that game. They were up by a full 7 points and allowed Taylor Heineke and the boys to go down the field and tie this up and send us into overtime. A lot of missed opportunities, a lot of them, and that we were staring defeat in the face. And after that field goal was short, I was like, whew, better than a loss. Now, obviously, if the tables were turned and we had a chance to win and we ended up tying, this would suck. This would be terrible. But since we were staring a loss in the face and ended in a tie, not terrible. I feel very, very fortunate. Heineke has only lost one game since being started. What is he, 6-1-1 or something now? I like where we are position-wise. I really was hoping we could pull this one off, because the magic number is 10, Byron, and we said that at the beginning of the year. The magic number is 10, and with the tie, it makes it a little bit more difficult. The back end of our schedule is not great. We have to see the Cowboys. I believe we have to see the Browns. I think we have to see the 49ers, if I'm not mistaken. Giants again. It's going to be tough these next few games, but I am optimistic. I think Chase Young will be back after the bye week, and I think our defense will take another step forward. Like I said earlier, the bye week came at a great time. There's a lot of nagging injuries, little nicks here and there. So this is a great time for a bye week, despite how late it is. So I feel really good. We're finally running the ball. Offensive line is a concern now. Sam Cosmi just got moved to right guard in the game and then got hurt. So boom, there goes that. Offensive line has been pretty much a question mark all year, and now we're dealing with these wild injuries. But it's cool. I like where we're going. I do think we do have an opportunity to get the 10 wins, and it's going to start by getting the Giants, getting a win over the Giants, a real win over the Giants in 2 weeks.
What needs to be done about ties, real quick? Do they got to just keep playing till you get a winner? I mean, I know they want to prevent injuries and head trauma. They got to do something about these ties, man. We can't have ties.
Okay. So one thing I think the NFL should take from college is maybe not exactly like that, but some type of overtime that's like that, where you put the ball somewhere and y'all keep going back and forth, and then if it gets to a certain point, y'all gotta go for two, like something like that. But because these ties is for the birds.
At least after the first overtime, do something like that, or have something.
Some type of sudden death.
Yeah.
I agree.
Untimed quarter, put the ball on the 30. You get 4 tries to get a touchdown or something. I don't know. Do something. They can think of something creative, man.
Yes, they absolutely can. $1 billion industry. Y'all got some creative people up there.
Hey, or hire us. We'll come up with ideas for you.
Hey, actually, we could put a proposal out there and everything, baby.
Let's get it, baby. At theflexon1@gmail.com. Let us know. Get at us. Let's get to these scores and get these game ball, not so game balls. If you're in the comments, game ball is your MVP of the week. Your not so game ball is your disappointment of the week, standouts, and your duds. As I read through the week 13 scores, we'll get our pick standings as well, and we'll hit into week 14, guys. Cannot believe the NFL season winding down last 5 weeks. But Thursday, Bills beat the Patriots 24-10. Aaron Rodgers, he's the Bears' daddy, 28-19. Steelers just keep winning like the cockroaches they are, staying alive, 19-16 over the Falcons. Q, where you at? Jets came up short. Vikings win again, 27-22. Vikings, best start, tied for 2017 at 10-2. The Lions, on fire, beat the Jaguars, where the Ravens lost to 40-14. Eagles keep rolling. Jalen Hurts might be the MVP, 35-10 over the Titans. Deshaun Watson is back. His accusers were in the building. That was just goofy. They beat the Texans 27-14. Commanders, Giants tie. Ravens beat the Broncos 10-9. 49ers and Purdy, the rookie, last pick of the draft. He was very Purdy out there. Beat the Dolphins into a 33-17. Jimmy G out for the year with a broken foot, if you didn't hear the news. Seahawks keep rolling. Gene Malenko, he doing his thing. That is Geno Smith, if you're new to the program, because he ain't turning the ball over. Beat the Rams 27-23. Lions hold the Rams' first-round draft pick. Aaron Donald missed his first game with injury as well. Go ahead, Dre, say it. The who?
The Raiders.
I told y'all they're still alive. Beat the Chargers. Chargers going Chargers 27-20. Bengals beat the Chiefs again 27-24. Cowboys, man, they took the Colts to the shed, beat them like they stole something, beat them like a drum, pulled their pants down, whooped them in front of everybody, 54-19. Jeff, what was he, Raj? Jeff Sunday, what?
It was the Jeff Sunday night? Yeah.
And then Buccaneers, Tom Brady does it again, 20th game-winning drive on Monday Night Football, I believe. Ties Dan Marino for most all-time. 44th come-from-behind win in his NFL career, most all-time by far. 17-16, he beats the Saints again, and he swept the Saints this season. So let's get your guys' game ball and not so game ball.
I'll go first. My game ball goes to Joe Burrow. Man, he had a phenomenal game. Still stomping on the Chiefs. Still doing what he does best. They coming, man. They coming for this division, man. Very, very scary. And I, you know what? It doesn't even matter who's left on their schedule. I think they can beat all of them. So, yeah, man, they doing what they did last year. They getting it together at the right time, and they starting to beat a lot of these good teams. So, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, they on the warpath, and they get my game. And Joe gets my game ball. My not so game ball. Oh boy, it has to go to. I got to go to that Denver Broncos team, man.
You took mine.
It gotta go to them, man.
Mine too.
Bro, they had so many chances to beat the Ravens on Sunday. I was at the game.
Go ahead, Rod. You gotta do it, bro. You gotta do it for the people, man. You gotta do it.
I was at the game freezing my ass off, watching people throw up in the stands, almost get killed in the stands. I mean, it was hectic and crazy. But on the field, though, man, I'm like, damn, I'm like, Russell, I mean, what are you doing? Russell Wilson is by God, he is awful. This whole team is awful. The wide receiving core they're good, but they're playing awful at times. The defense is pretty good, but it's just like Lamar Jackson goes out the game. And we're struggling on offense big time. And you cannot take advantage of it not one time. Everybody's playing with Denver, by the way. Nobody's hurt on that team. A lot of people are hurt on the Ravens. And you can't seem to get more than just 9 points? Really? You gotta get this not so game ball, bro. You gotta do better. Y'all gotta do better, man. It's terrible out there in Denver. I feel sorry for your fan base, honestly. But yeah, man, it's just disgusting.
What was Russ doing, man? He was telling what? Let's what?
He was like, let's ride. Let's ride back. Let's ride. Yeah, right. Ride your asses back on to Denver. Because y'all were all terrible.
Let's ride.
Tiffany, I call it still as cockroaches because just when you think they're going to die and they're done, they come back to life and they're still alive. But go ahead, Trey.
My not so game ball would go to Jacksonville because, like you said, they beat us the week before and then they got a thorough whooping at the hands of the Detroit Lions. I guess busting kneecaps and all that other good stuff that they do over there in Detroit was too much for them Florida boys. So they got my not so game ball, and in my game ball, I said it a couple weeks ago. I'm gonna be on my Skip Bayless. How about them Dallas Cowboys? Granted, I didn't really want to give them my game ball, but I mean, anytime you put up 50, I mean, I gotta give it to you. The Dallas Cowboys are doing their thing right now. I think that if they continue to play ball the way that they did against the Vikings and against the Colts, they are going to be a formidable team in the playoffs. I don't care if it is it's the Eagles. That's the only team I can think of in the NFC because everybody else is just but because the 49ers without Jimmy G, they're questionable. So, but I mean, honestly, Dallas will be a hard team to beat. So we'll see what happens when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys, but they get my game ball.
We the boys.
Start now, Crevonte, baby.
Man, it's a lot to go around.
Ooh-cha.
I'm gonna give it to, and this game was actually on Thursday. Man, I gotta give it to Mac Jones and that Patriots offense, man.
Who?
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones. Nangling Patriots. They offensively, they look terrible. And you know why? Because they don't have an offensive coordinator. That's why they look bad offensively. And it's unfortunate because they're going to stunt Mac Jones' growth because there's nobody nurturing him. There's nobody helping him see things. There's nobody on the offense. I don't even know. They told me Matt Patricia was doing offense for a minute, and I was like, oh, gosh, this is terrible. This is all bad. So, yeah, they are going to continue to struggle until they get somebody who can. Sole job is to help develop Mac Jones. Because if it's leader to Bill Belichick, this is what's going to keep happening. But goddamn, game ball. Oh, it's quite a few to go around on this one too. You know what? I'm gonna give it to Mr. Purdy, Kyle Shanahan, and the San Francisco 49ers. My heavens. Jimmy Garoppolo got hurt, and they did not miss a beat. Purdy out there slinging. Fa, a.k.a. Mr. Irrelevant, because he was the last pick in the draft. But he was very relevant this past Sunday. God damn it. He was out there. No fear. Ha, ha, ha. Now, I don't know what's going to be moving forward. But for this game, he was slaying. You know, he was doing his thing. And, of course,
hit the noise one more time.
And the 49ers defense is the number one defense in the league. So they continue moving forward. And yeah. Purdy and the 49ers.
What they do, Crevonte?
Who that?
He was like, ha, ha, ha.
Ha! He was slinging. Ha, ha, ha. I'm like, who is that? Who is that?
He was slinging more than Nick Cannon, I tell you that.
Wow. That's not
slinging more than Nick.
That's not where I was going.
I do want to get to the picks because we got a lot of people here, and I want everybody to drop their picks in the comments when we go through the games. But Dre, what's the standings before we get to Week 14? We'll go through the picks quickly, so you'll have them.
Damn it, I was so close.
This past week, 2 people went 12-1. That was Unc and Crevonte, and then 2 people went 11-2. That was me and you, Brother Byron. The overall standings, Unc is starting to pull away. 133.71. I'm in second place with 128.76-2. Crevonte is third at 127.77-2, and then Byron, you're right behind him at 126.78-2.
Close though. We all close.
Somebody
would have fell off by now. Everybody's still on the wagon.
Real quick.
Shut up.
Yeah,
Raiders Rams Thursday night. Let's go do that real quick.
Raiders.
Say it for me, Dre.
The Raiders.
Uh-huh.
So everybody got the Raiders?
Yeah,
I'm picking the Raiders.
Yeah.
I can't pick the Rams on a no bet list.
Vikings, Lions, 1 o'clock. That's gonna be a good game.
Yo, the Lions are favorite. The Lions are favorite in this game. Not by a lot, but they're favorite. So,
that's a tough one.
Give me the Vikings.
I'm taking the Vikings.
I'm taking the Vikings too.
Shoot, that means the Lions might win.
That Crevonte taking the Vikings too?
Yeah, I pick the Vikings. On the road.
Okay, we all want Vikings. I'll come to that last. Browns, Bengals. That should be interesting. I'm going Bengals though.
I'm going Bengals. They on the roll now.
Yes, they are. And Deshaun Watson did not look great, and he's probably gonna not look great for a couple more weeks.
Yeah, it's gonna take him a while because he hasn't played football in like 2 years. So,
and I hope he looks bad when he plays the Commanders
and the Ravens.
Jets, Bills.
Yeah.
I'm going with the Bills, brother. I can't pick. I mean, the Jets. Bills. Mike.
Yeah,
he looks
White
okay.
Mike.
The Jets had their one win against Buffalo. Buffalo, they gonna get it back. They gonna get their win back. So everybody picking Buffalo?
Yes.
Yeah.
Texans, Cowboys. We all agree on that.
We the boys. Yeah, Cowboys.
What are they playing?
It's in Dallas. Yeah. Eagles, Giants in New York. I'm still going Eagles.
Yeah.
Going with the Eagles as well.
Eagles.
Yeah. What do we got here? Jaguars, Titans. Ugh, gosh.
Titans.
Yeah, Titans. Titans gonna win.
Titans.
Yeah, we are agreeing entirely too much. Chiefs, Broncos. Oh my gosh, ew.
The Chiefs.
The Broncos are also on the no bet list.
Panthers, Seahawks. Another one. What the hell is this week, man?
Seahawks.
And it's in Seattle. So yeah, that's a good one right there.
Yep.
Buccaneers, 49ers.
That's a tough one.
Ooh.
No, it ain't.
The quarterback.
49ers. No, it ain't. 49ers. Oh, please. Yeah, Rod, pick the Bucks, please.
The way I'm picking the 49ers, the way that Brady and them, they barely beat I know people talk about the Saints just have their number, but still, I mean.
Are the 49ers at home?
Yes, 49ers at home.
49ers then.
Give me Brady.
Raj said.
Bauer, you said give you Brady?
Always give me Brady. And I gotta go against Rod sometimes, just for the sake of it.
Raj said he wants the Bucks to win.
Yeah,
I do, but I'm picking the 49ers.
give me
So everybody else is the 49ers?
Yeah.
All right.
Dolphins Chargers Sunday night.
Ooh.
Dolphins.
Dolphins are gonna bounce back.
I'll take the Dolphins, and the Brandon Staley removal will start.
This might be a far-fetched one, but I'm gonna take a couple swings, like Verlander did today, 86 million. I'm going to go with the Chargers.
Okay.
Go Chargers, go.
See, what's that? Saga City Lawless. He agrees with me. It wouldn't really be upset. I think the Chargers still have a chance at the playoffs. I mean, I know people don't like them, but I think they have a chance.
Nope, they're out.
Because why? You know why, Crevonte? Because the Ravens are going to be goofy. That's why.
Damn it.
Yes. I'm missing a game. Hold on, I'm missing 2 games. I'll go to the
Ravens.
Yeah, I'll do Ravens last. Patriots Cardinals on Monday. Ew.
Oh,
Patriots Cardinals. Oh my
gosh. Monday Night Football gotta do better, bro.
Is the Patriots at home?
I know the Cardinals are at home.
Yeah, Cardinals at
Well,
home.
I'm gonna go Cardinals.
I'm sorry. This is where we actually part. I'm going with the Patriots. That Cardinals team is a mess.
So that's true.
Patriots are a mess too, but I'd rather trust Bill Belichick than Clifford.
Cliffy.
It's some turmoil going on in Arizona as well. Reports coming out that Kyler Murray, which is interesting, and those type of reports aren't good for a team that's making any type of push. So I'm gonna go with the Patriots.
Yeah,
Since y'all put, I'm gonna go with the Patriots. Do you switch my pick?
Oh my God. Everybody's going with the damn Patriots.
Go with the Patriots.
I don't like it no more. Damn, I don't like it no more.
And I said I was done with the Cardinals, but just for the sake of the picks, I'm gonna go Cardinals. I'm gonna go with the Cardinals. And Ravens.
This is where we're not going to agree. So
Ravens Steelers 1:00.
I'm picking the Steelers to win.
Damn, I'm picking them too.
Picking them Steelers, man.
I'm picking them too.
Ravens Nation, that's in the chat right now. Don't hurt me. Don't at me. I want the Ravens to win. I just don't trust them this week. I don't. And it's not because of Tyler Huntley. I just know what they do against this Steelers team. They fall flat a lot of times against them. They allow Mike Tomlin to beat them. And I think that, the way the Steelers are rolling right now, I think they're going to find a way to beat this Ravens team without Lamar Jackson.
So, Byron, who you got?
I'm going to go with the Ravens.
Me too.
Ravens.
You're not the Lone Ranger on this one, brother.
I hope you're right. I'm praying. I would love to be 9-4. 9-4 sounds great. I would love it.
I think the Steelers will have a hard time scoring against the Ravens defense. Kenny Pickett, what they call him, Kenny picked off. He might give you 2 or 3 of them.
If Williams is back, he might take 2 or 3 of them.
And I think Ajabo Hughes, somebody's going to get a pass rush, I think, because their line is terrible. Now, I am scared of TJ Watt, but I think if we can run the ball, I'm gonna just say Ravens for the sake of the picks because I do want the game.
No, my heart is with the Ravens, man. My heart is with the Ravens, bro. I'm a Ravens fan. I just don't trust them this week. That's all.
Fair enough.
Yeah, we shall see. Crevonte, you ready to get goofy and get out of here and let the people know what goofies of the week are, my brother?
Sure. Boom. Well, kind of alluded to it earlier, but about what my topic is for Goofies of the Week. But first things first, welcome, good people, to Goofies of the Week, sponsored by the Flex Zone. Appreciate you guys for giving me a little bit of time for what I thought was goofy this week. And I have 2 levels of goofy that I deal with. That unfortunately we all had to deal with, but I actually broke it down. I have low level goofy, which is, I guess I could say, not Packer green this week, but Jet green and Falcon red for losing to the Steelers. Shoot. Cardinal red because they've been losing in general. So my low level goofy is the kind of funny, hee hee ha ha. We kind of let it go. We laugh about it. We move on. But we also have the high level goofies that's a little bit more serious. We have to talk about it. Things have gone too far, and a serious conversation needs to be had. Sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's funny, a lot of times it's not. But my goofy of the week was the backlash, and I think this is the first time where I'm talking about a group of people for a goofy of the week. But it's the backlash that Deion Sanders is getting for taking his talents to Colorado. I think it's absolutely unfair for us, and it's been a lot of the backlash is coming from a lot of black people, which is almost disheartening. There's one thing about this community that I've been a part of my entire life. It's very easy to divide us, and this is just another one of those things where we're divided, and when we are divided by something, I feel like we go at each other harder because of the division, just to prove that one side is right over the other side. And I absolutely hate it. I feel like everybody, especially in the black community, all communities alike, but it's specifically in the black community, because that's what we're talking about. We should always root for somebody to grow. Always root for somebody to be better. Root for somebody to shoot for the stars, strive higher. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, especially in corporate America and our jobs. We all are looking to some of us are more complacent than others, but for the most part, people like to grow and move up whatever ladder you guys see fit. Deion Sanders did a good thing. Matter of fact, he did a great thing. He brought light to a HBCU that a lot of us didn't know much about. Gave them notoriety, gave them recognition, gave them just overall just shine light on the program. And he gave these brothers, these very, very, very young brothers, some structure. Also, they got opportunities that they would have never got if it was for Coach Prime. Being exposed to how things work at the next level, being exposed to coaches who've coached on an NFL level and who have chosen to give back just for the sake of just because of Prime and who he is. Prime can make that phone call, and 9 times out of 10, the people are going to answer, and not only just bring shining light and bring notoriety to this program, they also won. They also won. He's been there for 3 years, and the last 2 years, he's called himself a champion. And the last year was an undefeated season. This Jackson State program, this Jackson State football college has never experienced anything like this before. And I feel like Deion Sanders just exposed. I guess I can't even say exposed because it's what we already know. It's already what we know to be. That HBCUs are just miles and miles behind of their PWI counterparts. Deion Sanders had a lot of problems, had a whole lot of problems when he first got there. From, obviously he wasn't making a lot of money. Not to say he was doing it for that, but he wasn't making a lot of money. The facilities were terrible. The field, uniforms, the AD, like it was so many things that he had to overcome. And this is supposed to be an HBCU, a black school. Deion Sanders come to your establishment you should do everything in your power to make sure he gets everything he needs for these young men. Because he's a black man teaching young black men how to be black men. And I think that should supersede anything else. No matter how you feel about, him actually leaving, he did a good thing while he was here. And for 3 years at Jackson State, these young brothers can say, hey, I had a great time, I had a great experience, and it was because of Coach Prime. Because it wasn't, would the experience be worth saying anything about? And again, the black community, hey, listen, there's no one person that's going to save us. and I feel like Deion Sanders was almost like a superhero for HBCUs and black schools alike. And this was not the end all be all for Coach Prime, nor should it be the end all be all for Jackson State, because they've shown what they are capable of. Thanks to Coach Prime, this is what you guys are capable of. Somebody could come in behind Deion Sanders and accomplish the same thing. And Jackson State has to believe that and continue to pour into these young black men and the athletic department and the football program. And things can be better. But it's absolutely absurd to think that Coach Prime, Deion Sanders should have any backlash for wanting to upgrade himself and better himself and grow. How many people can say they coached at an HBCU and then got a job at a Power 5 institution? Now he gets to run he gets to run another program on the same on a different level. But that's it. That's it. It's just disheartening how something which is a blessing can divide, our community so easily. But some things we have to those are some things we have to work on as a community, loving one another and rooting for one another, especially when it's a positive thing. Just too easy to separate us, and I don't like that, and that is goofy for me this week. And I know my line. There's a thin line between goofy and great, and the division between us is on the wrong end of it. We all have to do better.
Totally agreed, brother. Totally agreed, man.
Yeah.
We do, like you said, we gotta do better.
Thank you for that, Crevonte.
Yes, sir.
Rizzy Dre, episode 371 next week. As we wrap up this episode, what can they expect next week? We got the college football playoff field revealed, and
Heisman Trophy finalists are up there, so some stuff to still tackle. And of course, we'll continue coverage of both the Ravens and the Commanders.
And how can they start their day with a cup of Dre each and every day on WEAA, my brother?
Yes, WEAA from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. You already know what it is, man.
Yes, and of course here Monday nights. If you guys haven't hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, hit that everything. Let us know your thoughts, polls, everything. Raj, let the people know what they need to do if they're watching right now. They've been hanging with us the whole time. Appreciate everybody in the chat. We really, really appreciate y'all.
Hey, man, we appreciate everybody that hung with us the whole time. Please hit that like, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications. We had Engraven on earlier in the show. He answered a lot of questions, a lot of Ravens questions. You need to go back, rewatch it because he gave a lot of insight. So check that out. We do a lot of content during the week. Like Byron dropped the Deion Sanders video earlier today.
Check that out.
Check it out. It was very well done, very up to date, and a lot of knowledge towards it. We do wrestling content as well. If you're into wrestling, check out the AEW live stream. We have a whole crew that sits and watches wrestling. We talk wrestling, and we, pretty much, say what's going on in the company, or both companies, WWE and AEW. So check that out. And we have Ravens pregame videos coming up about the Steelers. That's going to come up, I'm pretty sure, probably Friday. And we do a post-game show about the Ravens after the game. So check that out as well, where we break down what happened in the Ravens games and, give the insight and intellect about that as well. So please check out all the videos on the channel. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Leave a comment. Let us know what you like us to talk about as well, if you have any, thoughts. So just keep on engaging, man. We want engagement. So keep engaged.
Executive producer Andre Mellon, senior producer Crevonte Hurd, social media producer Raj, yours truly, host of The Moist. We're here all week. Live streams, hit the bell. We do Ravens previews, Ravens post game, as Raj said. Watch alongs. We probably may do a watch along or two for a Ravens game coming up soon. NBA season in full gear. We do watch alongs for everything. Let us know what you want to see. Content ideas, video ideas. Hey, want to be a guest? Email us, theflexzone1@gmail.com. We can sit up here with the panel, debate us, give us your thoughts, and go from there as well. And hey, only place giving you sports how you want it, fellas.
When you
need it.
We appreciate that, Saga City Lawless. We'll take being okay because you were here the whole time watching. We appreciate it. Again, we got to give it up for Engraving one more time. Give it up for him. Appreciate him. Follow him at Engraving Vids. You guys know the vibes. In episode 371 next Monday. Ravens post game after Ravens Steelers. Lots of other videos coming this week. I may do something on rumors. The Rock coming back to win the Royal Rumble. Who knows? I'll give you my thoughts, what I would do, that and much more. Flex On Podcast, only place giving you sports how you want to need it. For Engraving, Dre, Raj, Crevonte, myself. We out of here, y'all. Appreciate everybody in the chat, comments, the likes. If you haven't, before we get out of here, hit the like button again. Subscribe if you're new. Super chat is donate to flexon1@gmail.com. Flexon1, Flexon1 on Twitter, Instagram, and now on TikTok. Flex On Podcast.
And shout out to Fanatics.
Yeah.
If you haven't already, get those Christmas gifts in. Fanatics, the link is in the chat. I'll put it up on here before we get out of here. But everybody have a great night. If we don't talk to you again, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year. But again, the Flex On Podcast, where you need to be. We do it all. We break it down like no other podcast. We show you those pictures. We give you the real of it here, and we're growing. And we can't do it without you. Appreciate the Flex On family. Thank you, team. Keep it clean. We out of here, y'all. Peace. Have a great night. Thank you again for watching. Drop those sunglass emojis in the chat. We putting the kids to bed. We out of here, y'all. Everybody have a great night. Peace. Thank you, Tiffany. Appreciate it. Saga City, everybody in the chat. Thank y'all. Appreciate the support, Brian. Too many people to name. Thank y'all. Peace. Have a great night. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Appreciate y'all.